approaching the home stretch. Singapore is a city that never sleeps, and the lights are burning brightly as the runners head into the 50 to 75K part of the race. For the leaders, it's back down through Pasir Ris Park, along Changi Beach, and then the long straights behind Changi Airport. Time to catch up with the leaders with Phil.
Thanks very much, Wick. Well, I can tell you that Lamchanak has increased his lead. He went through 50 kilometres in 3 hours, 43 seconds. Sepli Aha was around about 8 minutes behind him, but that gap has now blown out a little bit more, and you can see he's still absolutely full of running. This man is built for ultra-distance running, not an ounce of extra fat on him, low arm carriage, no real foot lift, keeps as close to the ground as possible. That is the perfect economic style.
While the leaders are heading home, Sharif is still on his way to the 50K turnaround.
For this event, I have my own schedule by my coach. I train 6 days a week with 1 day rest day, and that is twice in the morning the run, then evening run. I got my weekly mileage. My weekly mileage can be up to 50. The highest can go up to 250 kilometers. So all depends on what is the schedule. For example, every Wednesday is my long distance run. Sunday will be my totally rest day. Out from there, diets play parts too. You know, you need to take certain type of diets just to maintain yourself for this goal. Always when I start to run, there's always my mindset will say, why I should run for this marathon? It's crazy, you know, running 100 kilometers. But only thing is that always think positive. Show them that you can do it. You run. Then try to focus yourself more. Every marathon, there's always a pain there. It's either you can take it or not. Based on last year, I have a lot of like cramps. But after I do some research, after I get advice from my coach, and for this year onwards, the early January onwards, when I keep on doing some other events, I found there's no more pain. The technique of running, the technique way of, you know, to make you improve. Yes, so I believe that this Sundown will be the best.
Unfortunately, this night is taking its toll on Sharif. With time ticking away, it will be touch and go for Sharif to make the 9-hour cutoff time at the 50K.
It's very tough, but I see on my timing, I think I can make it with God will. The first 10 kilometers is very hot, humid, you know, but I have to stop at few locations because my socket, you know, there's a lot of, I'm losing weight, then my stomach is getting smaller, then I have no choice. I have to ask for members of public for extra socks, so they managed to give me 1 extra sock, so at least I have to, you know, move for help.
Time now to see where the leaders are.
Well, and I can tell you we're around about 65 kilometres into this 100-kilometre journey, and there's absolutely no change in the style or the positions. It is still Sepli Aha. There he is from Brunei, second, chasing Ahmed Lamchanak of Morocco, and he's really not making too much of an impression. And if anything, I think that Aha is maybe going through a little bit of a bad patch, and that could be good news for this man, Edwin Toe, because he's picked up after that last pit stop. He seemed to have a new lease of life, and he's got a spring in his step again as they begin their long journey into night. This is the top Masters men, and he's been that way virtually since the gun went off this evening. Shin Yen Ho, a picture of concentration. Once again, you see that very economic style, and that is the style that marks a true ultra-marathoner. The only thing going through his mind at the moment is get me to the finish just as quickly as possible. 80 kilometres now, so just 20 kilometres to go, and here is the leader. The slight uphill not making any difference to our Moroccan leader, Ahmed Lamchanak. He's led it virtually from the first kilometre, and look at this, he's full of confidence. He's not going to stop at the 80-kilometre pit stop, so he's heading for home. This man, second place at the moment. This is Sepli Aha from Brunei. he is definitely going to stop at the aid station. He needs some replenishment, maybe needs some fluids, maybe needs some cooling down. It's all there for him. Oh no, he says, no water, please, no water on my back. And the reason for that is he doesn't want his body to go into shock. Sometimes the cold water can put your body into shock and that hurts your physical performance. I think he thinks he might be able to run Mr. Lamchanak down. Bananas, water, 100 plus, all goes in. Quick, very effective pit stop. 20 kilometres to go for the man in second place, and that is Sepli Aha. Well, there's been a development in the women's race yet again. Dai Su Yu from Taiwan, there she is, leading the Masters and leading the race overall, so she's got him in front of Sumiko Tan. And there is Sumiko Tan, and maybe she's in a bit of problem here. Just trying to get herself organised. She changed her shoes at half distance. Maybe she's changed her hydration plans as well. Another bottle, and she's on her way again. But this is unknown territory for her. She's never run over 100 kilometres. I'm sure she wouldn't have trained over the distance leading up to the ultra marathon. This is the third woman in the lineup. Second in the open women, this is Libixi Ida.
The fatigue is starting to show on many faces at the 80K mark as competitors refuel. It's time for oranges, maybe a peanut butter sandwich, the all-important water to power up for the run home.
Just looking at the athletes here, it's an interesting dilemma. Do you wear racing flats and benefit from the lightness, or do you wear training running shoes and take the extra protection? Of course, there's a couple of guys in this race that are running barefoot. And the new thinking, technologically wise, with all the running shoe manufacturers say maybe less is better. We're certainly seeing that here in the Sundown Ultra Marathon, the 100 kilometres. This is the 80K pit stop. And all these guys, well, they've got one thing on their mind, and that is to finish. Another 20 kilometres to go. This is Gong Hin Na, 10 hours and 36 minutes to get to this point, the 80-kilometre mark.
How is it? Good. 20 more km to go. Good. Feeling good. Yeah, could have been better.
By now, it's early Sunday morning, deep in East Coast Park. The glowing lights of the 80K hydration station must lift the spirits of any runner, including Charlotte, who has made it this far.
The longest time I spent on my feet in one continuous ride, it was in last December, the MR25 Ultra Marathon. I took about 11 hours to complete about 71.2 km. I definitely will stop at every 10 km to hydrate myself. We do have a friend to support us as well. Yeah.
The Kamikoso route was quite boring. Yeah. Glad that managed to survive. Because there are a few runners running along there, so we just chit chat along the way. This makes us forget all the distance. Yeah, so we reach here. Yes. Yeah.
A superb performance so far from Charlotte as she maintains her charge for her first finish at a 100K race.
Pamela also has made it to the 80-kilometer mark.
Let there be light. I'm thinking, am I there yet? And I know I'm not, but no, it's all part of it. I just sort of think, well, if I've been going for this long now, I might probably walk for a little bit. That's okay. There's no problems there. Yeah, as long as I finish, and I can just look at my watch and start sort of thinking, right, well, I need to pick up the pace a bit, or I can drop back a bit, whatever. I use an iPod. I listen to some music. I like James Blunt, or a bit of Elvis Presley. Rod Stewart, wild for Rod Stewart, mostly Rod Stewart. And then when I'm sick of that, I'll take those out. And, actually,
I run my own business, and quite a lot that goes through my mind too, of things that I could be doing to improve my business. Anything, just